Alright, today we're going to learn about the Salem witch trials. I'm going to pass around a map of Salem Village, and it's a pretty complex map, but this is actually from the time period in the 1600s and then after that. So, Alright, so the fast facts about the Salem witch trials. It occurred in colonial America in Massachusetts between 1692 and 1693. More than 200 people in the village were accused of witchcraft, and it's actually a common misconception that it was only women that were accused. Men were accused as well, but women were thought to be more easily influenced by the devil. So eventually the colony admitted of their guilt and that it was just paranoia and wasn't actually witchcraft. Okay. In 1689, English rulers William and Mary started a war with France and the American colonies, which caused a lot of people to move into the Salem village. So there was a lot of strain between the two classes of the wealthy elite and then the people who were depending more on agriculture. So in the town, religion was obviously very important, and Reverend Samuel Parris was the head reverend there, and he was extremely strict and very focused on Puritan ideology and concerned about how the devil might influence the colonists. What actually happened was a series of fits began with 3 of the young girls in the village. Actually, Reverend Pierce's daughter, Elizabeth, age 9, and niece, Abigail Williams, age 5, started having fits. They screamed through things, uttered peculiar sounds, and contorted themselves into strange positions, and a local doctor blamed the supernatural. Another girl, Ann Putnam, age 11, experienced similar episodes. On February 29th, they were put under pressure from the head magistrates, and they had to admit what was going on, and they eventually blamed the Paris's Caribbean slave, Sarah Good, a homeless beggar, and Sarah Osborne, an elderly, impoverished woman, for their fits. They accused them of being witches. Already went through that. This is just a reproduction of what would have gone on in the courtroom, with the women pointing to each other, a lot of accusations going on. All the 3 women were jailed that I just listed. The Caribbean slave, the 2 other women disagreed with the fact that their charges, but the Caribbean slave actually was put under so much pressure that she admitted that she really was possessed by the devil, and she said, "The devil came to me and bid me serve him." She described elaborate images of black dogs, red cats, yellow birds, and a black man who wanted her to sign his book. So obviously you can see a lot of paranoia and pressure were placed on women during the time period. So charges were placed not only on women who were thought to have lower morals. Actually, one of the women in the town, Martha Corey, a loyal member of the church in the Salem village, was accused of being a witch, which caused even more paranoia, because the thought was, well, if she was accused of being a witch, who else could be accused? The actual trial started on May 27, 1692, when Governor William Phipps ordered a trial to begin with the case of Bridget Bishop. She was an older woman known for her gossipy habits and promiscuity. She said that she was not influenced by the devil and said, "I am as innocent as the child unborn." but her defense was obviously not very convincing because she was hung. The trials only stopped after the governor's wife herself was accused of witchcraft. So he kind of put it into it when his own wife was accused. And let's see, 19 people were actually hung. Primarily it was women, but there was an elderly man who was pressed to death by heavy stones, so it was quite brutal. They don't even actually know the exact cause to this day of why the Salem witch trials came about, but a couple of ideas were status anxiety and a response to the growing secularization. Women wanted to really know like what their role was going to be in the community. So there's a lot of finger pointing back and forth. Obviously there was an extreme fear of God's wrath. They thought that if there was bad weather or something terrible happened in the community, it was a result of the devil. And finally, one of the most interesting theories, I think, is the contamination of the bread. And it's thought that the rye bread actually was contaminated with mold and contained a chemical that would equal to about like LSD that was causing the fits. So that's one of the latest theories, so it's pretty interesting. And then I've actually got a court document of John Swan versus Mary Clark, and it just explains what she's being accused of and where it happened. And it says the complaint was written in very antiquated language, but it says the complaint was brought to me let's see, and they accused her of affecting someone's health through her witchcraft, so it's pretty interesting. Do you have any questions? I think that's about it.